if you're trading the pound, the euro, or even the US dollar, this is going to be the video to watch because we're seeing some key developments here from these markets. So I'll have all the details in this video. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Not wasting any time here looking at GBPUSD on the daily time frame. So if you saw last week's videos, including the weekly forecast video, you guys know about this area right here around 1.31 for the pound, which is the high from back here in 2023. Okay, so this was serving as support last week. However, we did see a key development late last week here for the pound that could signal some weakness ahead. And we saw something similar for the euro. So we're going to talk about all these markets in this video, just because, like I mentioned last week, we know that the euro and the pound typically move together. And we showed this last week, but if you see here on this chart, this is the daily time frame comparing the euro and the pound. And you can go back pretty much as far as you want to. You can see that for the most part, they do move together. Now, there are some deviations here and there, but for the most part, they move together, right? So knowing that, if you see that the euro is a little bit ahead of the pound in terms of a potential breakdown, do you really want to be trading the pound or longing the pound if the euro is breaking down? And we talked about this last week, but you can see here on the euro, this chart is a little bit more ahead of the pound in the sense that we are seeing a breakdown from this high from back here in December of 2023. And furthermore, we've seen two other critical breakdowns for the pound, not only below that 111.40 area, but also this trend line here off of these lows. Okay, so again, we talked about this as it occurred, but you can see the breakdown back here and also the top of this channel. Okay, so we've also talked about this channel here, and you can see where we got the close below on this candle, retest as new resistance. Okay, so we know that the euro is starting to break down from this area. So again, knowing that the euro and the pound move together, do you really want to be longing this market here at this, what was support area for the pound when you know that the euro is doing this? Even on the 4-hour time frame, you can see how all this is played out here, right? So we've got the ascending channel here for the euro off of these highs up here. We got the breakout through here. We saw the market sweep that December 2023 high. We saw the failure at this trend line right here. And now we've seen a failure back inside of this channel, okay? So in my opinion, guys, as long as this area up here is intact, right around 111 for the euro, I like the idea of looking for shorts against that area. So same thing for the pound. Knowing that the euro is breaking down, do you want to be looking for longs here? Personally, I don't. And in fact, I am going to be looking for shorts if we get a key breakdown of this area. Okay, so the area in question here, at least for me, is going to be the area right around 131. So obviously, that's the high from back here in 2023. And at the same time, you can also see where we have the top of this channel, all right, for the pound. So we've talked about this as well. But if you draw a trend line off of these lows, okay, so going all the way back here to the lows in 2023. So off of all of these lows, if you take a parallel level from these lows, okay, so draw a trend line across here, take a parallel level extending across these highs, then you get an area that intersects pretty close to that 2023 high. So this 131 area is the one that we've talked about recently that has been a must-hold area for pound bulls. Now, at the moment, the market is testing that level exactly today. Okay, so you can see where last week we did get that slight close below that 2023 high and this failure here. So notice how the market on this candle didn't close back up here. It closed right there at that critical level. Okay, so now we're seeing the market come down here and test this consolidation, which again is also the top of that channel, okay? So this is going to be key for the pound, in my opinion, right around 131, specifically about 130.95. If you want to get really specific, I think that that's going to be the area to watch. So if we see the pound closing below this area through here, this consolidation this week, okay, get a sustained break below here, then this up here starts to become a fake out, right? A sweep of that 2023 high. We've got the close back below. This area flips to new resistance. And we're looking at key support down here right around 1.30. Okay, now we still need the confirmed break below this because at the moment, all of this is just intraday price action, right? We have the market trading right there at key support right now. So we do need a confirmed break below this area on the higher timeframes. Now, let's take a look here at the DXY because this market also has some more work to do, like we talked about over the weekend. Even though we are seeing a rebound from the US dollar, the market still has some work to do to get above these key levels. So specifically, what I'm watching here from the DXY is we know that the area down here around 100.6 was a key support area based on the low from back here in late 2023. And the area that I really have my eye on is going to be between 102 and 102.4. Now, this is going to be key resistance for the US dollar, okay, the DXY. Now, even though it's resistance, though, given what we're seeing from the euro, that breakdown that we're seeing, right, the failure to hold above areas like 111.40 over here, okay, this breakdown up here, this, in my opinion, is signaling a potential reclaim from the DXY. Now, I say potential because we have to go with what's on the chart. And when you look at the DXY, technically 102 to 102.4 is still intact as resistance, okay, this area up here. So even though we're seeing that breakdown on the euro, the fact is the DXY is still below resistance. However, from experience, I know that when you get a V-shaped recovery like this, and you see other markets like the EURUSD breaking key levels like that 2023 high or late 2023 high, I should say, in most cases, this becomes a reclaim, okay? In other words, the DXY could be looking to close back above here. We've seen the sweep below a lot of these lows. We even saw the sweep of this late 2023 low from the DXY. So this is going to be critical resistance for the DXY, but a reclaim up here, guys, could be very bullish for the US dollar, not just over the coming, days or even weeks, but potentially months. And the reason I say that, we've talked about this before, but this area around 102.4 or so is going to be the bottom of this channel. Okay, so the market was moving within this before, and we saw a breakdown. We saw a sweep of that December 2023 low. So a reclaim up here would be incredibly bullish for the US dollar. Okay, if this down here becomes a reclaim where we get to close back above 102.4, specifically, really, if you want to get conservative, 102.6 or so. If we were to see this up here, though, guys, over the coming weeks, then I think that's bullish toward 104, 106, potentially back toward like 108. Okay, so we'll see how this plays out. Now, again, this is going to be resistance for the DXY, though. So knowing that, you have to be careful with the pound or the euro or whatever you're trading. So since we're talking about the pound today, right, this area down here is probably going to line up with the DXY around 102.4 or so. So this right here, you have to think of this in terms of, tiers or levels, right? In other words, a breakdown through here would be bearish for the pound. However, you've got support down here. A break below this, the DXY above 102.4, that would be even more bearish for the pound and bullish for the US dollar, right? So this is why I sometimes say in videos that I'm cautiously bearish on a market or cautiously bullish, because you have to think of this in terms of tiers or levels where you get a little bit more bullish or bearish on a market as it breaks below or above key levels. Okay, so I hope that helps, guys. I mean, right now, like I said, the pound is right there at key support, right around 1.31. Break below that, though, we're looking at 130. Just keep in mind, though, the DXY does still have some work to do with it below that 102 area. But with that said, though, if I had to, make a guess about where these markets go, which I'm not going to trade based on guesses, I have to trade with what's in front of me. But if I did have to guess where this market is going to go here over the coming days, is it going to be rejected from 102 or reclaim this area? Personally, even though I think we could see a pullback, or we are likely to see a pullback from here being resistance, I do think that we are potentially looking at a reclaim here from the DXY, just given the aggressiveness of this rebound and also what we're seeing from the EURUSD so far. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. Don't forget to join us in VIP, claim 90% off lifetime access. See the link in the description of this video, or if you're on the website, click on that join VIP link. Trade well out there, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.